I see that people are watching. It says I have 7 viewers, but I don't see anybody chatting yet. Nobody said hello. Hey, Regina, how are you? Okay, there we go. I noticed last night that there was people in the How You Can Help You hour, like after I got offline, I noticed that there was people commenting that I couldn't see their comments. Like Lisa Vanderhelm was here all night talking away, and I couldn't see her because I think she was in a watch party. So if you're watching this video and you're typing into the chat on Facebook and I'm not seeing it, it could be that you need to go back out and log back in. I'm not really super tech savvy. Hey Michelle, hey Angel, hey Teresa, hey Mary Lyman, hey Kristen Nicole. So I'm not sure, if you think I'm ignoring you, I may not be. I may not be seeing your comments. So just keep that in mind tonight. If I just noticed, like, when I got signed back onto Facebook, like when I was sitting in bed looking at stuff, I noticed that there was all these comments from a couple of different people that totally did not show up on my chat box here on my screen, and I think it was because they were in the watch party. So go to either the YouTube channel if you're not getting acknowledged and watch from there, or watch the best places to, I think, click from or watch from where I can see your guys' comments is either from the video that's located on my business page, clicking the video and playing it from there and commenting from there, or from YouTube. I think those are the clearest ways for me because I'm on Restream, which is combining both platforms. And so if you guys are in other rooms or in other groups watching it from there, I may not be able to see your comments, is what I'm figuring out. So, just so you know. Oh, thank you, Laura. I just saw that I got a charming from Laura. I also have some pre-reservations already, so let me just write these down really quick. So if you guys are like speaking and I can't see you or I'm not responding, it's probably because I can't see you. So you might sometimes, Ducky and I were talking about it because we're trying to figure out what is going on. Sometimes it's maybe that you guys need to go out of the video, like click out of it and then click back in to sort of refresh it. I'm not sure. So just be mindful of that. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. And also the other thing is that sometimes the chat gets going so fast that if I turn my head away and it scrolls, I don't even know how to scroll my chat back to see what I've missed in the conversation. So, hey Lisa, I can see you now tonight. Hey Tammy, how are you? Did you asked a question 5 times, Regina? There's a few different people that I noticed like I wasn't seeing any of it, and I was like, what's going on? Because it was like Lisa was there the whole night, and I didn't even know she was on, like, at all. I knew you were on, though, I feel like I saw some of your comments, so I'm not sure what was going on. And then there was that other lady that I read at the very end. She was new to us with the 4 cards. And I was thinking about that today when I was, like, sort of reflecting. It was funny how I call it the How You Can Help Hour, right? HHH. And then I ended it on that head, heart, health reading. And I was like, wait a second, that's weird. Like, how, help, hour, and head, heart, health, and then her energy was the 4th card. And I was thinking, maybe that's going to be the How You Can Help hour. That'll be like sort of the standard format for the reading. Is like we look at the head, the heart, and the health, and then, an energy card, and just do like really swift readings that way. And that will be the How We Can Help hour. I think. I don't know. I just was noticing that, and I was like, ooh, that's a weird parallel. How did that sneak out of there? And I just sort of was reflecting on that today, and I was like, Huh, maybe that's gonna be the format for like the reading for the How You Can Help Hour, and then that way it just like, I don't know. Anyways, this is where my brain goes when left alone and unattended. Laura Bowen, thank you. Let me keep that in mind. So you guys, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want to make sure that I have no more reservations that I'm unaware of. But at this point, if you're thinking about getting a charming tonight, you need to step up to the plate right now because my plate is getting full. So, hey Nancy Lowe, how are you? I would like to, Mary. Mary says over on YouTube, I think you should just stream from YouTube so everyone is in the same area. I would love that. But I don't know. I have a bigger view on Facebook. More people seem to jump in via Facebook. So I don't know how to do that. Or either that or I have to join everybody, like invite everybody to come over from Facebook to YouTube. And I would love to get everybody onto just YouTube so that I could get rid of Restream. But then, oh, that's the other reason why, is that I don't have 1,000 followers. To have chat functionality on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers, and I only have like 300. So, not even, like, well, no, I have a little over 300 now. So, and that's been hard to get. Like, I've been, when I focus on the numbers, it's not fun, so I'm not going to talk about it. But it's been hard to build my YouTube audience, and so I know you can buy followers or subscribers, but I don't want to do that. I think that that's, they say that that kind of screws up the algorithm, and it's not really reality. So I'm kind of trying to earn them, but I don't know. It's really funny. You can share out via Facebook, and that draws people in. I get new people in here all the time. Hey, Jamie Taylor. But hey, Andrew, how are you? Hey, Karen, how are you? So it's just, it'll refine itself as we go, hopefully. You know, once I reach 1,000 subscribers, if I do, hopefully at some point, if I do on YouTube, then I would probably just host events on YouTube. And that way we would have chat functionality there where we could all just talk to each other all on one screen. Because the other thing is like the YouTubers don't get to see what the Facebookers are saying and vice versa. So when I'm talking to somebody on YouTube and Facebook's scrolling, they're like, what is he talking about? So it is what it is. But like I said, I do have. Thank you for sharing, Kristen Nicole Wilson. Thank you. Oh, you shared for me over at Empowering Empaths. Thank you very much. There's certain key groups that I share to that uh, have to be approved, and that's one of them. And it's always one that I want to get in time to get the word out. Because I definitely resonate with the empaths. That's why I'm crying all the time. But I realize that my tears are power. I believe, you know, my emotions are not necessarily a bad thing, nor are the emotions of others, and feeling them isn't a bad thing. It can be overwhelming, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. So thank you for that. I'm just putting that together now because I saw that you, when I put out the little half hour, hey, come join us, you let it go through. So thank you very much for that. Actually, Kristen, since you did that, I want to add you and give you a charming. I know you're an admin over at that group, and I know that you've allowed me to post in there quite a bit. So I would like to gift you a charming, to be honest, because I just love that that group exists, and you probably do a fair amount of adminning over there and don't get very much reward. Would you be interested in that? If you would like. And if not, you don't have to take it. That's up to you. I don't want to, you know, this is a public forum, so if you're not comfortable having a charming or any of that, that's totally acceptable. I won't take it personal. Oh wait, more money is coming in. Hold on, let me see. And then there was some guy who liked the page in Galactic Federation of Light called Harold T. Cat. Uh-oh, why did my chat just go blank? What's Mick's name, Mary? I see you guys looking for Mick. I haven't seen a Mick yet. Okay, cool. Thank you, Kristen. I'm going to add you to the list then. So Kristen's going to be the fifth charming, and I think I'm going to cut it off there, guys. I will do random card pulls in between, but let's see how I feel. So, Mayersky, I haven't seen anybody yet with that name, but that doesn't mean he's not watching somewhere on Facebook in some of the groups that I've. And Mary, have you told Tammy what you did today, or should I tell Tammy? I don't know if that's something you want to do. Can you let me know how to proceed with that? Because I do have it all here. Oh, Kristen's here. Kristen, I was just gonna cut the list. Do you wanna? Thank you, Regina. Do you wanna? Well, Kristen, if you wanna jump in now, because I need to make the money. I might have to. Here's the other thing that's going on, guys. I might have to cancel Friday Night's Charming. It turns out that this little brat. Let me just show you something really quick. He's not a brat. I'm assuming he's gonna be a brat. I don't know. But this little guy, if you can see, this is him at 9 weeks old, is going to be showing up here on Friday. I actually have to go pick him up on Friday. So Friday Night's Charming might have to be canceled due to kitty cuteness. This is Finley. His birthday is October 31st, Halloween. Oh, whoa, I think that's tripping out my... Oh, it's the thing. So his birthday is October 31st, Halloween. He is a Scorpio to my Pisces. And he's going to be arriving here. I have to go pick him up in Oklahoma. So I love him too. He's a Maine Coon cat. So he's going to be joining Sven and Ingemar and the pack. I'm the friggin' Brady Bunch. I have 3 dogs and 3 cats, and I'm a lonely old lady, basically. But Friday seems to be the day that I have to go get him, and I haven't told Ducky this yet, so I'm just now on breaking news. Breaking news. Finley is coming. And so, I don't know if Finley is his name. Finley's the name that I'll just to give you this little story really quick. Finley is the name that the breeder had given him when she put him on her site. And I saw him, and I had just gotten back from that mediumship training in Virginia Beach, and I was kicking around the idea of going to Arthur Finley. And I've always wanted a Maine Coon cat my whole life. Like years and years ago, a friend of mine, Sheila, she had a Maine Coon that was absolutely beautiful cat. They're these really big furball cats, and they're gorgeous. They're large. And I got these two, Yamalux or whatever you want to call them, these guys, and they're turning out to be really awesome. I'm loving them. And so I thought, you know what, I want a Maine Coon. I just got this inspiration that I wanted a Maine Coon. I don't know if it's a wise idea right now, but whatever. I set that ball in motion. And then I came across him while I was contemplating going also to England to the Arthur Finley School for more mediumship training in August. And when I saw his name was Finley, and I was in the process of setting up a trip to England to study mediumship at Arthur Finlay College, I thought, it's kind of lining up. And then when I saw his little birthday was October 31st, and like cats and witches and all of that sort of stuff and familiars, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fucking cool. Plus he's a Scorpio, I'm a Pisces, we're both water signs. Like Bodhi, my oldest bulldog is a Cancer, so we'll have all the water signs represented in the house. And I don't know what Ingemar and Sven are because they were adoptions, like they were Save-A-Kittens. So I don't know when their actual birthdays are. So this little guy, I think I'm gonna maybe name him Arthur, after Arthur Finley, like after the school. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll see his personality. I might keep it as Finley. I don't know. But I just like that she had named him Finley, and then the school is Findlay, Findlay. So it's very close, and I was like, I think this is the cat. So, that whole old lady story aside, crazy cat lady, I collect cats and cards. You want a reading? Let's get started. So, let me see. I know that I asked Mary a question, and then I didn't listen to the answer because I was busy talking to about Finley. So Mary, did you tell Tammy so that I can announce it? Or do you want to tell her? Do you want me to tell her? Let me know. Alice the maid. That's what Ducky wants to be. Yes, I could call him Art. I could call him Artie. Artie the party. We'll see. I don't know. But the thing is they get big. Like, really big. They're big cats. They can get to be like 16 pounds. Like 20 pounds, some males. They're big European cats. So, he could be running the show before we all know it. Jennifer Kelly says, but you're a cute old lady. Oh, thank ya. Where are my Werther's originals? Bring me my Werther's. Oh, she does know. Okay, cool. So, all right. So I'm gonna go through my list. I've got Jen Nichols, Tammy Sylvester, Mary Lyman, Laura Bowen, Kristen Nicole, and Tammy. What are you doing? Tammy. What is that for? Tammy. Wait. Oh my God, Tammy Sylvester. What is that just for, because Mary bought you a reading today. I actually had to go to Walmart to pick up the money. Mary Moneygram. Mary's like on it. She was thinking about it. She's like, can I just send you money this way? I was like, sure, I'll go to Walmart. I don't care. All spots are kind of filled at this point, guys. Don't get old lady giggles. I'll try not to, Andrew. Okay, so you do know. You would like to know what to do to prevent your daughter's seizures and migraines. Okay. Let me see how that will work. So, daughter's seizures and migraines. I'm just going to write this down so I don't forget it, because I got a lot going on. I mean, as with the chat and stuff. Seizures and migraines. And again, I've got to say, anything medically related, I am not a doctor, so do not take my advice over anybody else, over a medical professional. Yeah, and I know you guys know this. I know you guys are smart enough about this, but I have to state that this is not, like, I'm not a medical professional. I do not give out law advice. Like, anything that, if you need to know, is my court case going to clear? I can only give you what the charms say. I do not cannot be held legally responsible for anything you choose to do thereafter. She's 13. Perfect, Tammy. Thank you. That's great. And then I know that Mary wants a past life. I'm not sure if Jen's here yet. Jen may not show up. Sometimes she doesn't show up. So if she doesn't, that's fine. Laura Bowen, are you here? What is it that you wanted me to look at tonight for you? And then Kristen, what would you like? Kristen Nicole Wilson, what would you like? And then Kristen Ravello, did you sneak in there? Because if you did, that's fine. I just want to know. Let me double check my PayPal. Tammy, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Like, that's crazy. Thank you. It's going to go to cat food and litter. Seriously, I gotta get a new cat box. Because now I'll have 3 cats using 1 box. It's not gonna work. I have to clean that. Okay, thank you, Kristen. Thank you. General overall life reading for Laura Bowen. Okay, general life reading. And then Kristen Nicole Wilson, I'm not seeing your comments, so I'm not sure. Hey, Tammy Tarasso, how are you? And I don't see that Jen is here, Jen Nichols, yet. So I'm not sure. She might think it's 7 and might not know that we moved it to 6. So I'll just start with Tammy and Mary, and then maybe hopefully Jen will show up. She's paid. Tammy will have Finley eating from a gold dish. I'll send Tammy Finley porn, like him lounging around, posing and being beautiful. I kind of am hoping that his eyes stay blue. They say that their eyes are blue when they're babies. They don't. Sometimes they stay and sometimes they change. So we'll see. They're still blue. That's him at 9 weeks. and he'll be about 10 weeks when I go to get him, but I have to go get him Friday, and it's about 2 hours away of the drive. So I'm gonna drive there 2 hours and drive back, and she wants to meet me at 4:30. So between 4:30 and 5, that would put me back here. It's a little over 2 hours. So that would put me back here just at 7, coming into the house with dogs and a new cat and all that, and then trying to do a charming. I just think it's too much. I might sign on at like 8 and just introduce you all to Finley. Just do a video where it's like, hey, meet Finley, guys. But I think maybe I'll move the charming to Saturday night or something. Oh, so Kristen says, I've been lacking in inspiration and direction lately. I'm bobbing in the water, wondering about my next steps career-wise. Okay, cool. I will do that for you. Honey, as far as, excuse me for calling you honey if that's too inappropriate, but I mean it with the, utmost love, but I can tell you the feeling of bobbing and feeling lost direction, I am so in that right now, and I've been trying to stay focused on this, like getting regular about this, but I'm feeling like the energies are swirling me around like a leaf in the wind, and I can't, between Paul, my brother, and a couple of other situations that I'm dealing with right now, I'm just sort of like everything is up in the air right now. And then I've got this new cat coming in, and I was so sure when I wanted to get him, and I put the deposit down and I started it all, and then I now everything is swirling around, so I can relate to that. So that will probably be a really good reading. So all right, so let me get started. I'm going to start with Tammy Sylvester, if that's okay. All right, Kristen, then let's do Saturday night then. We'll make that a firm, hard Saturday night, and you and Andrea will do charmings then. That'll be perfect, and that makes it worth, 2 charmings I'm happy to get on and do for Saturday night. So we'll move the charming from Friday to Saturday night. That makes me very happy. All right, so let's do... Okay, awesome. Thank you, Kristen. Then now there's Kristen Ravello and Kristen Nicole Wilson. There's 2 Kristens in the room. One's on YouTube and one's on Facebook. Thank you for letting me call you honey. I sometimes use dear and honey, and then I don't want people to think that I'm being like either inappropriate or what's the word? Not mocking, but I can't think of the word. Patronizing. Like, I don't want people to think that I'm being patronizing. I just use those phrases with like my pets and stuff. I call my dog Sweet Pea and Sugar Butt and all sorts of stuff. All right, anyways, I won't call any of you guys that, I promise. So let me flip the cameras and we'll start Tammy's reading about her daughter's seizures and migraines. Okay. Okay. All right, so we only have one letter here, and we have the R, and we have courage here, and it is face up. It is sort of turned sideways, but it is in the present state, like in the conscious mind. So right now I feel like either, I kind of feel like this might represent both you and your daughter. Like this is this period of being courageous for both of you. Um, wow. Tammy, okay, I don't normally do third-party readings. I'm just going to say this really quick, but I'm going to share this really quick. I have a feeling that because she's 13 and you told me that, I feel like this is her reading, and I'm just going to go with it. And I feel like it's okay because you're her mom and she's 13, and this is sort of like about her well-being. So it's not like overstepping any personal boundaries. So I'm going to go back to the other camera and explain to you what I see here or what I think is going on here, and you can either affirm or say it's not right. All right, so let's just get into this. Oh, speak of the devil. See, you give cat gifts and look what happens. Sven shows up into the charm box. Svenny, get out of here. Why am I getting a third cat? Sven, you can't do the charming. Come on, bud. He's never done this. Come on, Svenny. It's always good luck when Sven shows up. So, I feel like this is, there's something going on here with her personally that feels really tumultuous. And this feels like her pride, that she's got some really strong symbols going on here. She's got the jaguar, the moon, the crown, the key, and she has Vishnu here, right? So to me, this is like about spiritual power. This is about sort of her own intuition, her own feeling sort of secure. This crown feels like security to me. The key sort of also feels that way too. Like I feel like this crown being face down feels to me like maybe these seizures and the headaches are causing maybe some self-esteem stuff for her. That's why the crown is face down. It sort of feels like maybe she was a little bit more self-assured further in the past. We have this key here too, and this is really kind of jumbling up a little bit of her personal power, if that makes sense. And what I want to say is like, as I'm looking at these charms, they feel like they want to like sort of come apart to me, like they want to burst out, like whoosh, is what I'm feeling coming off of them, right? And so if that were to happen, what we have in play in this grouping here is we have this jaguar, which is like really strong shamanic magic, right? And he was face down, sort of like not being accessed, and he's over top the intuition of the moon charm, right? So he's sort of blocking the intuition right there, and Vishnu is sort of on his side here, which to me could represent just sort of uh, connection to God, connection to a spirit, that sort of a thing. And I feel like it's not that she's not connected, but I feel like she's feeling a little discouraged right now or jumbled up. Like she can't necessarily access, but she has really wonderful power here, right? This courage says to me that she's being extremely courageous right now as she's moving forward, and she's trying really hard. It's the fact that it sort of feels like it's like leaning this way or turning. It feels like it's sort of, it kind of feels like it's going back and forth. Like she can't keep it even all the time. Does that make sense? Like some days are better than others is what I'm getting from this courage card, right? Or this courage like stone. Um, and then when I look at this, I feel like this is a, is her father's past, Tammy? The doctors say it's a brain disconnect. I feel like something's going on here. Like there's something spiritual and something like her intuition's underneath all of here. Yes, and her dad has passed. Okay, this is her father in her subconscious, like the loss of her father in her subconscious. And I feel like this is him, like her storing the loss of him down here deep in her subconscious. And what I feel like when I look at these charms is I keep getting pulled to this courage charm, and it feels like she's working really, really hard, trying to keep it together or trying to uh, uh, put on a brave front. She has a lot of strength. I have to say that this crown charm, when a charm is represented on the board, even if it's face down, to me it says that the power is there. It's just not necessarily being accessed or utilized in the way that it could be or needs to be. And so to me, she feels a little bit jumbled here. I feel like there's like I don't know, this crown to me, it feels like maybe her world has been sort of tilted upside down, and that's where she's having trouble. Now, I want to get to these charms over here. What we have up here is we have two guardian angel charms. One is, this is Gabriel. He's in the higher mind, but he's sort of, and they're both face down. And this is the other guardian angel charm, which isn't necessarily an archangel. This is one of the archangels. This is just the guardian angel charm. Both are face down. which says to me, like, I feel like she needs to, and you were saying that she talks to spirits. Coming into the future, she needs to start to access the help of these angels that are around her. I feel like they are around her, but the fact that these charms are face down is maybe she's having trouble accessing them, or like, how do I want to put this? It feels like this jumbled thing here needs to kind of expand. I want to do this. Like, I want this to sort of spread out a little bit. Like, her to get her power back, her to see her beauty again and her security again, to feel secure again. That even if the seizures and migraines happen for a while, that she gets a little bit more stable in this area, right? Because she's got a lot of questions. And the thing is she's smart enough to know what's going on. She's powerful enough, like deep within her spirit, to sort of fix this. These are not like jokey charms, right? These are not like half baked. These are heavy duty players, I would say. And so for them to be all sort of wound up together like this, it feels like there's like a little bit of a, I don't want to say a blockage, but a jumble that's happening that needs to be released. I think that she can do it. I think that this courage card, this courage stone says to me that it's going to take a fair amount of courage and that she's already presenting that. But she also has to access this sort of outside spiritual help via the archangels and the guardian angels. This part of the board is sort of like, oh sorry, it went out of focus. This part of the board for me is what I call oh, come on now. There we go. This part of the board is sort of like the future aspect. So I feel like she is beginning to sort of, these angels are starting to come in at this point. She needs to start to communicate with them and let them in. Um, Talk to them. If she's already talking to spirits, Tammy, tell her to talk to her angels. Talk to her about angels. Like, educate her on the fact that their energy is there, that they can act, that she can access that energy or ask for that energy to sort of help her to smooth out these worries that she might be having, or any tension that might be going on amongst where her strengths are, right? Because she has a lot of different strengths going on that I feel like she might not feel that she fully has access to right now. Um, and then we have down here, this is the subconscious mind. We have the ancient Egyptian button, but it's flipped over. So this is again ancient knowledge that is down in her subconscious. This speaks to this sort of Vishnu jaguar energy that we have going on here, where I feel like she's an old soul, or I feel like this sort of tells me that she's got some information deep inside of her that she could indeed solve this or fix this. Um, but I think that it's like, it's going to be, like I said, I'm not a doctor, so I hate to be giving it medical advice and telling you everything's going to be okay when I don't really know medically what's going on. But I want to bring you also a message of hope. And when I see this, it feels like what I want to say is, if she creates contact with these angelic forces that are starting to come in, right? And wanting to come in. She starts to sort of open that herself up to that, and we flip these charms over. Then it sort of opens the door for these other charms to sort of flip over. We have this 6, which is sort of this in the red, which to me, red can represent both love, but it also can represent sort of anger. But I don't think that this is anger in this case. I think this is a high level of love moving into the future. We also have the heart ring, the black heart ring. To me, I'm not really sure the significance of this right here. It's in the future, I can say that, and I can say it's sort of in her subconscious. But it sort of contradicts what I feel from this 6-sided die, right? The 6-sided die is a high level of love moving into the future. And then this says, when you are grateful for what you have, more will come into your life, right? And I think that this 6 here also represents that sort of love-centered gratitude at a very high level. So I think that she can sort of change this and is working towards that. But I think that key communication right now, if she is talking to spirits at night, I would have her focus on talking to angelic beings and have her have conversations with them in regards to her own healing and how she can facilitate that or bring that about. I think that she can do that. I think that she certainly has the power here in these charms. She has the key. I mean, that's like the key to unlock the door is all here. Um, I think that some of this also ties. Did this have the seizures and migraines been going on since the passing? Is what I want to ask. Like post passing, or were they going on while he was still on this plane? It is inside of her. For those of you on Facebook, Tammy's saying right now, I've always said that. She's also saying she has special needs and she's autistic. But Tammy says, I've always said that the cure is inside of her. I really believe that it is. I believe that she actually has an ability to communicate with these angels that are like coming in. If they're not here already, which I think they might already sort of, sorry, this keeps going out of focus because I keep using my hand. I think that these angels are like right at the doorstep. She just needs to sort of let them in. They're not going to enter unless she invites them, kind of thing. And so I do see, like, I'm telling you, I feel this energy off of this grouping of charms that they need to sort of break out or break apart. And once she can access all of them, she has a lot of strength and a lot of ability within herself since she was 2. Okay. Because I was wondering if it was connected to this, because this is also really drawing my attention, the effect of this, or this sitting in her subconscious. This could also represent as his spirit sort of kind of being around her maybe and guarding her a little bit. But this lower part of the board for me represents sort of the subconscious mind, or what's deep in our depths. This is sort of her conscious mind right now, and to me it looks like she's been working through some heavy stuff and trying to sort through it all and being definitely brave and courageous about it. But she might need some assistance. She might need to call in some angelic help of some sort. Um, and when I say that, then I look at that R and I think of, the Archangel Raphael is the Archangel of healing. I don't know if that R is significant to you in any way, Tammy. I haven't been watching all of your comments because I look at the charms and I like sense what I'm feeling in my body and stuff. So they came to her the night they passed, and she told them they were gone before the hospital called. She told me they were gone. Wow, Tammy. So she has a gift, like she's already speaking to the other side. That's why these guys are coming in a very big way. This archangel's working in her higher mind, right? So, and this guardian angel's working in her present mind space. So to me, I think that, and her dad is Rick. So this might be the R that we're seeing here, and the father figure here. That to me, this represents a past gentleman. Is her daughter a sensitive in the sense of, Mary's asking Daniel, is her daughter a sensitive in the sense of, you meaning like psychically sensitive? I believe so. I believe that she has very, like, these, when we have Vishnu with the jaguar, which is highly shamanic, highly spiritual, strong, like the walker between worlds kind of energy, we have this prowess, right? This strength within her that is undeniable. Right now, she's maybe struggling or not feeling like she's able to access it all the time. But this is sitting right over the moon, which is the intuition charm. She has the crown, which to me is also could represent the crown chakra, right? Which is our knowing. But again, the crown is face down, so it feels like maybe she's not necessarily able to fully access her knowing right now because she's feeling off center, right? These charms feel like they're sort of a little jumbled, and I feel like they need to expand a little bit so that she can um, access each of them in her own way. And when she does that, yes, indeed, she is got a lot of ability with these charms that are here, with these angels that are here. They're around her for a reason. Hi, Regina Kreider. How are you? Do you want to take a picture of this, Tammy? Oh, the cats are wrestling. Tammy, I think that cat gift has brought the cat energy to the house because they are wrestling on the floor. Can you hear the bells? But you know, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. All right, you guys, be nice to each other. You're done? Next. All right, so I can clear the board, Tammy. Invite those angels in. If she can't do it for herself, teach her how. Talk to her about them. She can do it for herself, I think, at some level, only because these charms here say to me that she has her own level of power, and it's pretty serious within her. Another mystery solved, Shaggy. Mary, you are crazy. All right, I'm going to clear this away. Mary is up for a past life charming. The angels are the last two that want to go. You know what you do too, Tammy? It's like thank them as if they already are there. It's a little trick that Kyle Grace teaches you. Instead of asking the angels to come, you thank them for already having arrived. That's sort of how you bring them to you. I learned that from Kyle Gray, the Scotsman from the UK, who's like sort of, they call him like the angel whisperer, and he's amazing. He teaches us, like with certain prayers, you do, instead of saying like, please do this, or can you please, or can I have, you say, thank you angels for revealing to me everything that I need to know. And then you just sort of sit in that space, in that energy, in that sort of energy of reception, and allow them to then bring the answers to you. But you can also thank them for arriving, you know, to assist her and help her, right? Knowing that they've already come. Awesome, thank you, Karen, for that share. All right, so let me get in the mode. Okay, Mary Lyman, Mary Lyman. And Mary gets a Mary. All right, what do we got going on here? Let me look. Oh, this is a big hodgepodge of I'm not sure what. Let's see what this letter is really quick. What's up with the single letter R's? All right, cut it out, guys. You two are too much energy like connected, I think. You guys are going to have to like play separate. You both pulled the single letter R tonight. I don't know what that's about. Let me look at this for one moment. What is going on here? Because you've got a lot of different, like, sort of influences happening here. Where is this taking me? This is definitely a female life. You were a female in this past life. And I feel like you were quite beautiful. And I know that you weren't white in this life. I can tell that. And the reason why I say that, I know that sounds kind of strange. I can't tell if you were like maybe Native American or if you were Asian, but your skin was of just a darker color. Let's just say that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just can't tell. It sort of looks like it could be Native or it could be Asian, your face to me, but you were like stunning. You're absolutely beautiful. And then part of the reason why I'm also not able to peg that is because we have this dream catcher down here. We also have this beautiful green Tara. So that's why I'm sort of being taken there. I mean, you could even have been like from Tibet, maybe, or um, it's sort of like that kind of, or Mayan, maybe, like even Mexican in the Mayan culture. But you were quite beautiful, I feel like. I also feel like that you were married. This feels to me like this was your husband. I feel like the position of this life was about sort of you losing him, or the big pivot point of this life was about you losing him, and that's because of this arrow coming right through him. Do you see that? Do you see this arrow right here? Sorry, that's not my pointer. And then that's when the sort of the hardship began, or the work really began in this life. That's where we have this barbell here. I want to see what this is. Dead in the center that we weren't able to access was hope. So it feels like to me there was a loss here. You were still very kind, I feel like, because this feels like you going into the future of this lifetime alone as this sort of Mary figure. Um, Let me just look at this. Also this book makes me feel like you were not like just your average like woman in the sense that I wouldn't say that you were wealthy, but you were very beautiful, I feel like. I feel like people noticed you. I also feel like you were educated at some level that was higher than, say, most women of your stature, or you had an awareness more so than most other women. And I feel like this death or the taking of this man, and I feel like it happened maybe when you guys were fairly young in your relationship. You were married, I feel like. I feel like this is a husband, and I feel like he was taken early or early for you. You also have one of my favorite charms, which is the heart with the wings, right? Like the symbol for my business, that Engelgeist design, right? So you have that here, and it's up here, sort of in the higher mind, and it sort of feels like with him leaving, sort of also like your heart might have like flown away, or like sort of that love flew away from you and got away from you. And to me, it's funny, I feel like this Mary walks alone into the future of this lifetime with the lovers. Did you see the intertwined lovers? This was a ring that I had that it's two intertwined bodies that I cut off. They're intertwined and like having, you know, connection, so to speak. But they're laying right next to her, and it's like the memory. I feel like that's the memory of that love, sort of you carried with you throughout that lifetime. Um, I don't feel like this was super sad for I feel like the loss was very sad for you, and there was a loss of hope that happened in this lifetime that you might experience now, or that might, you know, you could possibly look to and maybe heal some of this energy or bring it more present time, so that you're not walking through this lifetime with a lack of hope or a lack of belief. We do have this upright that says only you can give your special gift to the world. And there was a lot of gifts that you had in this lifetime, not only just your physical beauty, but also like your intelligence. There's a spiritual strength here and here with the green Tara. But I feel like when he was taken from you, you might have felt like you were like maybe not shunned per se, but maybe. I get this sort of feeling of why, you know, like maybe this religious sort of questioning as to, well, I don't understand because that was taken away from me. Um, and then this sort of Mary thing to me, it makes me feel like in this lifetime you went on to stay alone in this lifetime, which a lot of women maybe didn't do. And I feel like you did that out of acknowledgement of your love for him. That's this lovers here. We also have another coin here on the side, which is it's the one of those little dirty coins that I have. What sign is it? Let me see. It is the sign of Sagittarius. But it has the sexual union picture up, right, of the position for Sag, which to me it looks like she's embracing him. And so to me it feels like there was definitely this hold that you had on the memory of him. And then you have the butterfly, which is always a symbol of transformation. This is sort of down in maybe your subconscious. Uh, but I really think that what happened here is the taking of him sort of left you alone and sort of sucked the like wind out of your sails to a degree. And and I feel like that's maybe what you need to know about this lifetime. And that like sort of like I feel like the love that you carried for this man in this lifetime was deep and real, but I also feel like you might have let it linger too much, like it needed to be transformed. Uh, and maybe you started to do that maybe in later years. That's what this coin sort of maybe flipping over and landing on its side like this is like we needed to get a little further along in the transformation of this to maybe open it up and free yourself from the loss and the sadness of that loss so that you could get your hope back. And I don't know if any of that makes sense to your life right now or any feelings that you're having in your life right now with a feeling around lack of hope. But some of that could be attached to some of this lifetime where it brings back the depth of this loss or the depth of the sort of. I feel like there's this funny thing when I'm looking at this is I look at this book and I think, wow, she was a very intelligent, sort of powerful woman for her time in this lifetime. She wasn't like your atypical woman. She was also really beautiful. So, you know, she could have remarried, she could have done a lot of different things, but she didn't. She chose to do this really sort of strong, hard, kind of virtuous path of being alone and caught up in the loss of the love of that life, right? And trying to work her way through that. But I don't know that she fully got worked through on it. Does that make sense? Um, and you could have chosen other paths, but you didn't. Is what I'm feeling. Like you did take a very uh, I want to say like steep learning curve on this one. Um, and so some of that might still figure into situations where you feel uh, um, insecure in this lifetime because I feel like there was a certain amount of insecurity moving forward in this life as a single uh, woman, but you did it, and that's the strength that you have, right? But from this lifetime that I see, but um, I think that that sort of insecurity feeling can also drum up the loss of hope that was sort of created in the center of this lifetime around the loss of this husband. But it's funny, I have to say this, like I don't feel like you let it stop you, which most women would have done something culturally, not I don't want to say culturally different, but in most women I feel like during this time or this in this culture wherever it was from, they would have probably remarried or did whatever. You didn't. You decided to sort of stay caught in the path, and it created this sort of vacuum where hope was in that life. Hey, Tracy Marie. So does that make sense? You're keeping the faith for both of you. I think that you have. The funny thing is it's like this hope charm is turned over, but like a woman that walks away and does this in this lifetime is not a woman that's like fearful, right? Yet I do get this sense of like it wasn't the norm, so it felt maybe scary at the time, but you allowed that sort of memory of that love to kind of haunt you, not haunt you, but like sort of push you forward, and you chose to do this sort of singular thing in this life, and there is this focus on the loss, right, that happened in this life. But there's also this strength that I see from this life where you went beyond like societal norms around your knowledge base, around your capabilities, around what you were able to do and how you were able to exist in that sort of society post the loss. She kind of is badass, Tammy. I'm not kidding. Like, even in this lifetime, she was a badass. Like, Mary's not to be messed with, you know? She's a virtuous, sort of strong player. Green Tara also. Like, these are like heavy duty female energies in this thing. The only thing with Green Tara, I feel like Green Tara's turned over on her belly. To me, that feels like maybe during this loss, you felt like the gods, like, kind of didn't honor you in some way, or maybe turned on you, or um, you know, took him from you. Like it was, I don't think that you felt as though you were punished, but you didn't necessarily understand it, because this feels like you like going into the future alone, right? And it being Mary says to me that you were still sort of spiritually connected. You just sort of were also very spiritually connected to the memory of this relationship, or to the love. Oh, hey, Jen Nichols. Green Tara, she's a goddess. Let me see, I can tell you. If you watched the Charming video, she is, I think she's Tibetan. She's a Buddhist goddess. She's the savior goddess with numerous forms widely popular in Nepal, Tibet, and Mongolia. She is the feminine counterpart of the Bodhisattva, Avalokiteshvara. Say that 10 times fast. According to the popular belief, she came into existence from a tear of Avalokiteshvara, which fell to the ground and formed a lake. Out of its waters rose up a lotus, which upon opening revealed the goddess. Like Avalokiteshvara, she is a compassionate, succoring deity who helps men cross to the other shore. Wow, I didn't know that. I forgot about that. She is the protectress of navigation and earthly travel, as well as of spiritual travel along the path to enlightenment. Interesting, kiddos. Because I feel like also Mary's all about sort of spiritual enlightenment too. So you stayed connected, but I feel like you sort of disconnected from Green Tara in this life, because I get this sort of feeling like, and maybe she did come and take your man and help him pass, right? She is a female Buddha, right? What charming video? What's going on? I don't understand. What's... Thank you. Tracy Marie says over on Facebook, oh, it's Dan and the collective that makes this group truly wonderful. Thank you, Tracy. Um, uh, I just want to shout out Tracy Marie for bringing me into this collective. How my world is better. Being part of your group is truly a place of hope, encouragement, and empathic souls. Thank you, Lisa. Wow, there's like so much love going on in this room. Do I need to get out a cigarette? Like, Jesus. So is that, do you understand that, Mary? Is that making sense to you? Do you need to take a picture of this, my dear? And I'm glad you're here, Jen, because I have you on my list of ladies to read. I'm sorry, Kristen Nicole. I know that you've been on here since the beginning and you're at the end of this list, but it's going to take a couple more readings. Yeah, I printed out sheets on the different charms that I got recently when I was away, and Green Tara was one of them. So I pulled them for specifically the past life charmings, because when I find small charms like this that are ethnic in nature, they help to pull my brain to either certain cultures, certain spiritualities, and it helps to give me an overall vibe of things. So, like with the dream catcher, that brings me to this place of Native American, where Green Tara brings me to this place of um, sort of, you know, like we just said, Mongolia, that sort of thing. And I did represent, like I said something earlier about maybe possibly being either Mayan or Tibet, because I feel like when I'm looking at her face, as I'm looking at who Mary was in that lifetime, she looks like she could be from any of those cultures and those sort of indigenous people. And so she's not like, you know, a plain white lady, as far as I can tell. Not that white ladies are plain. I don't want to offend any white ladies, but to me, when we live past lives, we go through many cultures and many different, you know, both sexes and sexualities. And if we're embracing the idea of past lives, we need to embrace that we were at one point probably many numerous different um, ethnicities, sexualities, both of the sexes, maybe some intersex. You never know. Like all sorts of stuff can come up, and so it opens you up to the idea that we are more one than we are, you know, separate. I feel like it's kind of Asian too, but I feel like it's not necessarily just like Chinese. Do you know what I'm saying, Mary? Like to me, it feels like I said Tibet. Like I feel like you had sort of like almost, or it could be where if you've ever seen Tibetan people, they have these beautiful round cheeks and these really bright smiles, and they look different than say a Japanese person would or a Chinese person would. Their faces are more round and plump, but you were really beautiful. And so I feel like, and they're also sort of in this way too, they sort of, Tibetan people kind of, to me, and this is from my own personal reference, which may be totally inappropriate, but it's sort of like to me, they're kind of mountains and plains people, which also sort of connects to the Native American nature of this dream catcher, right? Which I sort of see the similarities between a Native American culture and how that worked with in sync with sort of like Tibetan culture. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's making sense, and I don't want to overstep anybody's, um, you know, ethnicity boundaries and say the wrong thing because it can get kind of, people can be sensitive. So I want to be careful about how I say that. But it does feel like it's a cross between these two cultures, and when I mix these two cultures together, it brings me to this place of feeling like possibly Tibet, or like that paper just said that I printed out months ago when I got Green Tara, Mongolia, which is very close to Tibet. It's like mountains, snow, um, plains people, herders, farmers, which also I feel like is very much part of like Native American culture, right? And how they lived in North America. So so do you need to take a picture of this, my dear? Jen Nichols, did you want your reading now? Because I had you at the top of the list. So I just need to know what you want your charming on, my dear. Okay, thank you, Mary. Let me just adjust the camera to make sure that it's in focus. Okay. If not, I can go to Laura. Hey, Shelly, how are you? Welcome to the group. This is a night of charming right now. We're also doing, I might do some random card pulls towards the end. I want to get these charmings, all of these charmings are actually paid for charm readings, so I want to get them taken care of. And I do have Kristen Nicole waiting, who is a gift charming. Yeah, you can, Jen Nichols. So just a general charming, like what's next? All right, so okay, what is next, Jen? This is not a whole lot to work with here. What's going on? So I've got D, E, and I, or die. That's not next, Jen, but we do have a weird alien on the board. I don't know what that's about. That's fine, Jen. Let me look. What is this? All right, I'm just going to go with this. I'm just going to take this where I think it needs to go. You ready, Jen? I feel like out of the gate, something needs to be communicated. There's something that you're holding back. And the reason why I say this is you have the blue communication chakra, the fifth chakra stone here, and it's sort of flipped over. It's also in your conscious mind. I don't know if I think that this is something that you're consciously doing, maybe out of love or out of respect, there's just a holding back, like a pullback that I feel like. It's funny that both of these are blue too. There's very much a strength to these two blues that I'm feeling like, and it feels to me like you're sort of pulling back. This alien here, it feels kind of like this might be spirit intervening, but I feel like this is not necessarily, you know how I'm all Mr. Hold on, wait 1 second. It's funny because I didn't understand why I put this in here, and now I'm getting a read on what this friggin' alien is for you. I feel like this alien, and I'll flip the camera back in a minute, it has to do with starseed energy. And I never realized that that was what he was about. He's come up in other readings, but he's never been about starseed. But I don't know if you relate to starseed stuff at all. But to me, let me go back. To me, this feels like him kind of intervening or some sort of starseed knowledge. And it's funny because you have the Eye of Horus here. To me, this is about observation, but this is also about ancient knowledge. And I also believe that some of Egypt's stuff is tied to the star seeds. So it makes sense that these two show up here. Now, when we're looking at like practical what's next sort of things, because I know that you're kind of like saying, okay, what do I need to do next? It feels like there's something that needs to be communicated. Like I feel like, to be honest, when I look at all of these charms, I feel like there's something you are putting on hold, and you know what it is. Like there's something you're, and you also have this Confucius charm down here, face down in the subconscious area, which feels like a denial of knowledge too, or a denial of wisdom. Not like a denial, but like you're consciously holding this back. Because I get a sense from this charm and this charm that you could, at any point in time, decide to flip this over and communicate what you need to say or how you need to be or what you need to do. But I feel like you're doing it from this place of sort of trying to love and respect somebody, or not harm a love or a respect that you have for somebody or had for somebody, that you're putting some things on hold that need to be said, that need to be expressed. Oh, I don't have the chat window up. Sorry, let me see, I didn't see this. Jen Nichols is saying, wow, wow. What are we saying wow to, Jen? Where am I landing that wow? Are you associated with starseed energy? Because the starseeds are trying to contact you and intervene, I feel like. You know exactly what I mean? Thank you, Jen. Okay. All right, cool. And the thing is, I gotta say this, you have all of this knowledge in you, girl. Like, this Eye of Horus, even the Confucius, it's like at any point in time you can just flip this bitch and be like, okay, I'm ready to use him now. Like I'm ready to access this. I'm ready to operate from this place. And you are choosing, for some reason, to hold back. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it back into focus. go. You're choosing to hold back at this time. I think you might be waiting for the opportune moment. Um, that's sort of this, and you're gonna know it when it happens. It'll be like that sort of internal. This Eye of Horus, is not. It's about sort of, to me, inner knowledge, right? And so, uh, when it gets to the point that it needs to be expressed, or when you see that it's gone too far, or it no longer can go on the way it needs to, and maybe it does need to die, then you express it and it's done. Does that make sense? And tell me to go forward, right? What do you mean? I'm missing. That 100% resonates. I know exactly what you mean. Thank you. And tell me to go forward, right? I think that you have all the, like, this, the communication stone is very strong. All of these are very, like, wisdom based, wise stones or charms, right? Confucius, the Eye of Horus, and the throat chakra, and then even the love charm in this, like, certainty blue. To me, it's like there's no messing around here. Like, there's a definite certainty about you, an awareness. The alien dude is and is he telling you to go forward? Probably. I feel like there's some starseed energy. I don't know if you connect to that sort of stuff, but I feel like that's what that is. If, like, it's interplanetary help, guidance. I don't know if your guide is from another planet or another energetic thing, or if you're into that sort of a thing. I mean, I'm into it a little bit. Like, light workers are into that. They believe that they're starseeds, that they're Pleiadians, or what are the other ones? I don't even know all the planets, because I resonate more with, like, the angelic realm, right? So I study more or look more towards the angelic realm, but I don't think that there's a huge difference between one and the other. They both serve their purposes and do their good work, kind of thing. I just don't necessarily um, know that I'm a starseed per se. Okay, she says, I don't know much about Starseed, but all the rest resonates. Check out Starseed stuff and see. I don't know. There's, like, a bunch of different planets that they come from. There's the Pleiadians. There's I can't think of the names. There's too many to, like, remember. And it's just something that doesn't necessarily. Each one is here to do, their own different kind of work to sort of help the evolution of mankind, and they're inhabiting, physical bodies, and sort of here in on the plane trying to do their work too. But I get a feeling this guy here is somebody that's not necessarily in a body per se. He's more like uh, in an alien sort of spiritual energy connection kind of way, and information. Stoney's writing DEI Rule LLG, a local government in Papua New Guinea. Maybe you need to go to New Guinea, girl. Hi, Black Tree. How are you? Thanks for tuning back in, Black Tree. All right, so do you need to take a picture of this, Jen? Just let us know when you're ready to communicate whatever it is you're holding back, girl, because you are ready. I mean, I don't know that you're ready. You're going to know when you're ready. Let's just say that. And then you will sort of. I have a feeling you'll let her rip at that point. Is what I'm hearing. Like, it's just gonna kind of come forth, and it's gonna come forth with sort of like um, a strength and a clarity that might even surprise you a little bit. You're good. Okay. All right. So Laura Bowen, general life reading. Laura, are you still with us? Oh my God, you do? Oh, Black Tree, let us know how it goes. All right, so you guys, Black Tree's here from on YouTube for those of you watching on Facebook, and Black Tree had a little reading last night on the How I Can Help You Hour, and some stuff came up about Black Tree's question around seeing sort of people passing, and we did a card reading for it, and we had a discussion about the idea of maybe Black Tree going and looking into working. She had told me that she had ideas of working in hospice, and you'll have to go and watch the video to see everything. But she's just now saying, for those of you that can't see on Facebook, she's saying, I called hospice and I have an interview Friday to volunteer with them. So that is cool. I want to know how it goes, Black Tree. That's awesome. All right, Laura, you're here. Thank you for that, Spirit. Let's see what Laura Bones, one more. Okay. Oh, Confucius is back. He came right back out. He's like, I'm not done yet. All right, what's up with the three-letter words tonight? All right, so, wet. It's all the love in the room. Oh my God, help. All right, so general life reading. What is going on in Laura Bowen's life? Let me look at this for a moment here. When I look at this, I feel like a lot of indecision, Laura. I feel like there's this sort of focus right now, certainly on this lizard, right? And the lizard always represents the dreaming to me, right? The sort of the dreaming and the creating of one's sort of world, right? And maybe not knowing, because you're asking for a general life reading, right? So I'm looking at this sort of overall, overarching sort of, what is she doing with her life right now? There is this focus on your dreams and what you want to achieve, or maybe this sort of going about that. But I feel like then we have this baseball player charm here that's sort of in touching on the dreaming, and it's face down, which says like, I don't necessarily know that you're sure or know exactly how to go about making what you want a reality. You are focusing on it. Like to me, this lizard feels clear, like you understand what it is that you want, but you're maybe not sure how to go about getting it. I also feel like there's an emphasis on love going on in here because we have the half heart here. We also have the black heart ring up here. And so to me, this feels like um, that some of this dreaming might be around the idea of falling in love or finding the right partner, and not quite knowing how. It feels like with this dumbbell or the barbell here in the past, that there was hard work or strain in the past, that maybe recent past that you had to sort of deal with, process, and I kind of feel like it's created these two charms in a way. Where these two charms, it's like I want to say, like I want to say, sorry, I was reading the comments. That's why I look away from the comment chat box, because I start to read the comments to see what everybody's saying, and I get sidetracked. I want to say that like there's an emphasis on wanting to find love or a partner here. I don't know if you're in a relationship, Laura, but to me it feels like that's sort of like maybe quite possibly the dream. And then down here in the subconscious, we have the Confucius charm, and the Confucius charm usually leads me to places of wisdom, right? But to me, this feels like this is your ideal mate that you have not fully formed yet, or you have not fully come to understand yet. That the experiences of the past have maybe been struggles, and they've taught you things, but the relationships of the past maybe have brought about broken hearts or memories that aren't necessarily wonderful. Um, and so down here, what I feel like is bubbling in the deeper subconscious is this sort of idea of putting together your wisdom and awareness of who it is you want, or how it is you want him to be, uh, and it's still kind of formulating. That's why he's flipped down. Like we're not 100% clear yet on how we want him to be. Does that make sense? I don't want to turn this into a love charming, but that's where it feels like it's going, especially with all of this sort of heart energy here and this sort of dream in the center. To me, it feels like Oh, you would have to leave a very great. Okay, so I am thinking about moving to Florida from New York State, and I would have to leave a very great person. And let me ask you this: your dreams lie in Florida, right? That's what this lizard says to me when you say that. Oh, wait, hold on, there's more, right? But the really great person is also kind of a disaster and has broken my heart. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's this right here. Okay, now more is unfolding. More is unfolding, okay. Um, so I think, okay, I'm going to say this. I think the idea of possibly going to Florida, I don't want to give you a right or wrong idea, but I think that it might be the route of your dreams. Yes, my dream lies in Florida. Yeah, totally. And I think that Mary's in Florida too, and she's sort of guiding you that way. The angel's also in the future towards Florida too, but he's not here yet because you're not there yet because you haven't gotten clear on making the decision yet and making the move, like playing the game. That's why the ball player's face down. But once you make the move and once you sort of, build that wisdom and also build that new partner, because if homeboy that you're with now is kind of a disaster, that's fine. Let that disaster go. Dump that barbell. Bye bye. And get kind of thing. Because life is too short and there's things out there for you that can be beneficial and can be good. And if he has broken your heart, that's okay. I also have to say this too: there's another half to this heart. This heart is represented when I put it in here as the twin flame heart, because there's two halves. So like if I ever did, like, say, a twin flame charming, if both of these hearts showed up, that would be like boom, oh my god, you found your twin flame kind of thing. If that were to ever happen in a charming, which with the amount of charms in there, I think the randomness, it's damn near impossible. And check this out. Somebody did a charming for me once, and they both showed up in my charming. And I was like, fuck you. Like, they were using my charm box and just practicing, and both half the hearts showed up. And I don't even believe in twin flames per se. Like, I just don't buy into, it's not that I don't buy into it, I just don't, subscribe to it per se or live for it because it's such a high ideal that I'm like, I can barely find my way out of a paper box sometimes. Like I don't know about that. So I'm just gonna like learn to love myself before looking for my mirror opposite other half of my soul that's in another body shit. Like no, I still got a lot of work to do here in this body. So, but the one time that somebody's charming me in my charming for me, boom, like both the hearts showed up on the board. It shook me. I was like, ooh, fuck no. Because I don't know who my twin flame is. I don't even know if I have one. But whatever. So there could be, and this is why I don't like twin flame, because it leads people to like hope for something that I don't necessarily think it's impossible, but I think it sets yourself up for expectation, and expectation is always a dangerous thing, right? So it can be a dangerous thing, right? If we set our expectations to a place where maybe we're not able to achieve them, then we end up hurting ourselves. So to me, I am going to say this: that there is that representation, and that's why I put these charms into the board. So there could be this idea of you seeking another half to your heart, to the heart that maybe is previously broken. I'm not going to use the term twin flame, but there could be this possibility that moving into the future, why are you looking at my face and not the charm? Sorry. Moving into the future, there could be this possibility of finding the other half to this heart. But you have to sort of carry this half of this heart in faith, in love, like Mother Mary, let the angels guide you, and get on to getting on, and you will find your way. Let us know what happens in Florida, which would be why I would want to leave here for Florida. She's 7 years old and I miss her so much. She used to live 15 minutes away and we'd see each other all the time. Where in Florida, Laura? LOL, Mary, see, Laura's saying all dreams go to Florida to die. LOL, it's the boneyard. Mary, I'm getting ready to possibly move to Florida, so you better shush. You'll all be moving to Florida to live at Engelgeist convalescent home before you know it. Where we'll have finger painting and charming every night. What does it say? Every place is a boneyard, but it's what you make it to be. That's true. Palm Beach Gardens. That's probably beautiful. I'm thinking about possibly relocating to Pensacola, to be closer to Paul. Well, I have the opportunity to while I'm still young enough to sort of help him. Blacktree says that they're headed to Florida in July. Give it Blacktree. Yeah, and Florida certainly would be wet. I don't know what wet is about, but or maybe it's tew. Tew. All right, poor Kristen Nicole Wilson. If she's still in this room, and it's filled with lizards. Exactly. Exactly. You're welcome, Laura. Thank you for getting a charming tonight. Thank you very much for supporting the business. I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, I will enter names into the box and do a drawing for mediumship reading too for everybody that bought a charming tonight. So you guys will be entered in for my practice. Yeah, wet and hot. Exactly. Black tree. It's the dream. It's the dream. Oh, okay. Maine's beautiful though, Shelley. I mean, in its own way, it's cold as shit, but it's beautiful. I'm about to get a Maine Coon cat, actually. Kristen, you are here. Okay, okay, cool. I thought you meant you were here in Florida. I'm like, you're in Florida? Oh my god. All right, cool, Kristen. So, what did you want? You want career. Okay. All right, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit, for career timing. Go to Florida and walk with the dinosaurs. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see what's going on here. We've got a W, we've got an R. I'm going to just pull these out from underneath here. Oh my god, work! No. W-E-R-K, you better work, girl. Is that right? Right? Isn't that like work? Like, you better work, and we're doing a career reading. All right, so I love you, RuPaul's Drag Race, so I'm going to take that as work. It could be crew with a K, but I'm going to say that this is work. You better work, girl. So let's look at this green charm right in the center, because I want to know what it is. It's Serenity. And you said earlier that you were bobbing around a little bit in your career space and not feeling very much like you knew where you needed to go. And I'm going to say this. With this Serenity flipped over, that would make sense, right? It says to me that you're kind of seeking that, wanting that. You've maybe had that in the past. It feels to me like you have the lovers sitting back here in the past. Like there was this great love that I don't know if you necessarily still have. I kind of feel like maybe you don't anymore. And I know that this is about work or career related, but maybe there was a career that you loved or something that you did a long time ago that really you're sort of longing for, I feel like, or that connection to your career again, like how this love sort of represents here. And you're trying to find that because that will bring you like this sort of serenity, right? So the focus is on that. And I love that this is green, right? Which brings me to this place of this idea of healing, right? So finding this stability or this these answers in the work realm would not only bring about that serenity, but that serenity brings about peace and healing, right? So I'm just going to leave that over there. Now, what we have going in the future, you have the crown chakra, which is your knowing. And it's next to this baby, which makes me feel like, I'm like, is this like a child? And I don't think it is a child. I think this is an idea that you have. Like, oh, sorry, I knocked the camera out of balance. Come on, out of focus. Come on. Oh, there we go. The baby to me feels like a new idea. Is there, just give me a yes or no, please, Kristen. Is there something, is there something that you have in your mind that you want to do, that you want to bring forward, like birth a new idea? Because to me, that's what this feels like. There's like something going on in your crown chakra around your knowing and the birthing of a new idea. It's going to lead to the butterfly, which is sort of like this idea of transformation. And you want to transform, but I think that what's going on here is you're not necessarily sure how. That's this definite maybe. You're kind of trying to figure out how to get there. I also feel like there's some sort of this rubber snake to me always represents kind of like goofball people that give us trouble or headache that we can't necessarily shake free of. They're kind of a little bit annoying. So I'm thinking that maybe there's possibly somebody in your career space right now that is sort of annoying the shit out of you or is just troublesome. And he's wrapping all around this panther, this jaguar, which to me is like your personal power or your personal strength. And I think that that is stronger. Sorry that the camera's not. Come on, adjust. There we go. I think that your personal power is stronger, but it's like it's almost like something about self-worth. Let me see. My goal is to have a career related to light working. I'm here for humanity. Exactly. I'm the same way, Kristen. I'm trying to do the same thing with these charmings and my readings. It's the only place where I feel happy. And it's the only place where I feel like I'm making a difference. It's the only place where I feel like alive and lit up. And then it can be a struggle though to live in that dream and support that and not feel like you're there's so much set up in society that tells us that we have to do certain things a certain way, right? It's just bred into us right from birth. Maybe that's what that baby is, right? And you know that something is different. Like there's this new idea that you want to bring forward, right? And from that, there's a transformation that will take place. Um, I still think that this to me is some sort of situation or work related situations that have caused you trouble and you don't want that anymore. You need to break free of it. You are strong enough in the future with this jaguar here. The definite maybe to me sort of seems like will she or won't she? So it seems like to me there needs to be sort of a commitment made to yourself at a very serious knowing level to your own transformation and really committing to that. You also have down here deep in the subconsciously, I don't think you can see it, you have the unicorn charm, which is full on pure magic, right? Lightworker magic at its best. But to me, the unicorn, at least it's heading in the direction of the future, but it is face down. Normally it should be upright like that. So to me, it's deep down in the subconscious, like there's magic working in your subconscious. You're trying to work it out. You're trying to understand what you can accomplish, what you can manifest, what you can do. And that's why this butterfly was sort of turned over. Sorry, I keep moving my hand and then the camera goes out of focus. That's why this butterfly was turned over because the transformation has yet to fully happen. You have to trust it. I know, right? She says I deal with trolls adminning such a huge group. I know you do. I can imagine. I get them sometimes even in my charmings. Luckily, they've been fairly pleasant, or I've been able to like joke with them and leave. But that's part of the interesting thing about when you grow big on social media. All of a sudden, you get sort of strange attention too, and people start judging you. It's this funny thing where putting yourself out here doing this kind of work in this kind of format can be very vulnerable. And so, but I think that you have the strength to do it. When I look at that jaguar, you definitely have the strength, the prowess, especially with the unicorn too. You have the strength and the prowess to, and the knowledge, like just the spiritual know-how in this jaguar and this unicorn is like a really powerful magical combination. And so you are, she says, thank you, ladies. And Dan, I'm still in my cocoon, but I really want to break out. I really do. I will. You will. I think you will. And it's there for you when you're ready. I love that this says work, like WERK. Like, this is I used to do drag, right? I used to perform in drag in San Francisco back in like early 2000s. And, there was like, you better work, right? And so to me, this sort of coming out this way is like, have fun with it, have that attitude of like almost try and maybe create an air of sass about it. And there's this thing where I believe like the element or the energy of humor, nothing can really stick to it. Like when you're at that vibration of joy or laughter, at humor, at true like having a laugh, um, the haters can't really nail you. They don't get you. Um, so stay in amusement, like stay in that sort of idea of like, yeah, I'm gonna do the damn thing, and really when you own it from that place of fun and enjoyment, it's easier when people try and tear you down or wanna, you know, mess with the rubber snakes that wanna, you know, do what they do. You better work, girl. You better work. Exactly. I need to teach Paul how to say that. He'd totally say it. He mimics me all the time. Like he's like a little bird. You'll say something, he'll repeat it. It's really sweet. So yeah, you better work. But I love that your knowing is up there. Your crown chakra is really strong. You have a beautiful baby being born, or a new idea, or a new journey coming forward. You can do this. Oh, hey, Julia. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, Julia Tietjen is Black Tree. So, you guys. You're welcome, Kristen. Thank you for approving my posts. Because it's hard to get out there, too. I have to say this, people are extremely competitive. Like, within the groups, they, don't want stuff published. And, all the groups have different rules. And so you never want to offend. And then the empathic groups, which I feel like the empaths would love this sort of stuff. Because it's about not only how I'm processing the charms, but also what I'm feeling in my body and all of that, and using it as a skill to sort of read, right? And pick up on the energy. And I think that this is a great fun thing for empaths. So it's cool to see a group that allows that, right? I do believe in keeping everybody safe, and there's a lot of stuff out there that's kind of dodgy and weird. So you have to kind of guard against that. So and those groups do get big, but it's nice to have one that allows videos in there, because sometimes a lot of groups won't, or they'll just bounce you out, and then you feel bad, So. But let us know how everything transpires, Kristen. For sure. And I think that's it. That's it, right? I think this music kind of lulled me out tonight. It's that 432 megahertz music, and normally I play the twinkly angel charming music, and I played this tonight, which is nice, but it makes me want to go night-night. Because I'm an old lady with 3 cats and 3 dogs. Help. Let me ask you this. Have you ever found, Kristen, have you ever gotten the people that want to buy a couch from Amazon? Not Amazon. What is it, Ducky? When they come in, I get bombed sometimes in my rooms when I go live, where a bunch of people come in asking for the sofa. It's the weirdest thing. And I think they're trolling me, but they're not being mean about it. They're just like, yeah, we saw the posting about the free sofa. Is this where the free sofa is? There will be all of these people that come in asking about a free sofa all at once. To me, I think it's kind of funny, so I laugh it off. And I think that part of that laughter makes it so that they don't stay. They just kind of dissipate away and go away. But no, I'm not doing the drawing today, Ducky. I'm going to put these names in and probably do the drawing on Saturday. That way I can add Andrea and Kristen Ravello. I'll do it because I normally do, because tonight's Wednesday, I normally pull on Fridays. But I still owe Jen Nichols her mediumship reading. I never got to that because so much went out of whack with my gallbladder and then Paul and everything. So I have to give Jen Nichols her mediumship reading, and then I'm going to add all of these names. And now Jennifer's bought another one. Her name goes back in. She might win too. But all of you, and I think that Tammy's already in there, Mary's already in there. Some of you guys are, on the frequent flyer. Hence the wings. So you all are on the frequent flyer program, so your names are probably in this box already. But I need to get back cracking on that too, because I have a course that I'm taking with Mavis Patilla online that will be starting soon. So that will help with the mediumship stuff too. And this sort of little contest will help me to have practice participants to work with while I'm working with Mavis online. So that will help. So it should work out. It's a Reddit spoof. That's what it is. I think it's funny. I love it when they do it. I mean, I don't love it. Like, it would be annoying if it was all the time, I guess. But I think it's kind of funny. It's really sort of cute. Like, is the couch? And one guy was asking about dolphin meat. I was like, what? He's like, is this where I can get some dolphin meat? Oh, people are strange, man. But that's the kind of stuff that restores my faith in humanity. Like, I love it when people do weird shit like that, or like memes, you know, this lady screaming at cat memes. Like, it's just the whole world joins around that one picture and starts creating the weirdest stuff. I love it. All right, you guys, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna go make some dinner, and thank you everybody who purchased a Charming tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you everybody that tuned in. Thank you for coming back tonight, Black Tree. I'd love to hear about your hospice experience. We'll keep fingers crossed, and you'll be fine. There's no worries, but I'm interested to see how that goes for you. And Tammy, I'm interested to hear about your daughter. Keep us updated about that. Let us know how that progresses, and open up those doors to those angels that are just banging to get in there. I know Jen Nichols isn't here, but you know, let those starseed aliens in. I don't know. And we'll see where we all end up. Who knows? You know, Laura and I might be neighbors in Florida before we all know it. All right, you guys, have a great night. And I will do another how I can help you hour. Well, we're getting this week's running out. I'll just announce those, and then I'll try and get a regular schedule of those. I'm thinking about those maybe once or twice a week, where we just do free card pulls and stuff. So, and again, Friday night's Charming will be moved to Saturday night, because Finley's coming Friday. I might sign on in the cuteness and excitement and show y'all Finley, but we'll see. And then Sunday morning is my first class online with Mavis Patilla. The 12th. So it's a crazy week, and I've got doctor's appointments and all sorts of crazy shit going on to have my stomach rechecked from the gallbladder surgery. But it's gonna all happen. Good night, Ducky. Good night, Andrew. Any decisions on New York versus LA, Andrew? You're gonna stay in New York? I have a feeling that you might. And that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma, to Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Do you know it, Lisa? Good night, Kelly Talbot. Thank you for tuning in. And also, guys, I want to say this too. Like, if anybody has any suggestions for the channel or any ideas, you can always throw them my way. You can message me at the business page or comment on a video and say, hey, can you do this? Or, hey, what about trying it this way? You know, I'm open to ideas of something that might be more exciting or more fun for you guys too. If there's anything that you guys can think of, or a certain pick a card idea that you guys want, I'm always open to suggestions. And I've got like a bunch of new decks that I need to, that I've had for a long time that I've just have not opened. And I've got the sexual ones that Mary or Karen sent me. I have the sexual Wicca Tarot. Like, those could be like a hootenanny. Talk about the letters W-E-T showing up. Talk about all the love in the room. But there's all sorts of stuff that we need to be doing. So if any of you have any ideas, you're more than welcome to share them. If there's something specific that you guys want from me. You're following your gut, which as it has changed, Andrew. Good. That's always good. Trust your gut. There's nothing wrong with that. That is awesome. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Ellen. You've been to Broken Bow? I've never been. So. Open the box? I just closed it. What do you mean, open the box? Oh, hot. Open the box. Oh my god. I'm not doing it now. I'm too tired. I don't want it. They're still sealed in plastic. Hermetically sealed for our protection. But I have somebody, like, who was it? I think it was Karen sent me one deck. Hold on. I have these two. I don't know. I think both were from Karen. I'm not sure, but one is the Sensual Wicca Tarot. It's a bunch of like orgy witches. And the Sensual Goddess. So lots of sensuality going on in these two decks. So I think that these can make for some fun pick cards, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I have not yet to open them. This one came unwrapped in plastic, so this one might be used. I don't know. Whoever sent me this one, it didn't come wrapped in plastic. I'm a little nervous to open it. If these cards stick together when I can bring them out of the box, our relationship is done. That's all I'm saying. And it says adult material. Adult material. So that could be really wrong on a lot of levels. Look at the High Priest. This is so wrong, because I have it's not wrong, but I have this love for like cards and the tarot and divination and stuff, and to me, to sexualize it, I mean, there's a place for sexuality and spirituality, certainly, but this to me is so funny because when I think of the High Priestess, I don't think of her as like a Playboy bunny, right, in high heels and with a long leather like thing in front of her lady garden, you know, it's just like, what? So, I don't know. This is too funny. Yeah, and there's an instruction booklet. So, I might have to actually read from the book on these just to see what the cards say about, like, say, the High Priestess. Because it could be saying stuff like, you're sitting in your garden, your phone's on vibrate, you're waiting for him to call. Call again. No. Call again. Anyways, that's me on a tangent. Alright, so, you guys are crazy. I'm getting a little rummy. I think I've done too many readings. Oh, I got so much going on this week, guys. So much. But thank you all for tuning in. It's been fun. I am terrible, Regina Javit. I am. I love to have a laugh. I love to laugh at goofy stuff. I love to laugh at stuff like that. And it doesn't, you know, I have a pretty dirty sense of humor most of the time. Like, I love, like, Mary and Karen's senses of humor, Ducky's sense of humor. Ducky and I can get pretty raunchy. Angel, Michelle, there's some raunchy ladies around here. But, it's fun. You know. So. Oh yeah, this old lady needs to go to bed. I need to go lay down, I think. Well, I need to make some dinner first. Some soup. What an old lady meal. I have a nice soup and crackers, and I call all my animals to the bed. Oh man. This is my life. This is who I am. Alright, you guys. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for helping me build the dream. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Well, tomorrow in the morning I will see you tomorrow, actually. And then I won't, again, just to repeat, there will not be a Charming on Friday. It will be on Saturday instead. There might be a secret reveal. Tomorrow is what day? Thursday. So I have to leave to get him on Friday. Oh, the day is spinning. The day is spin out of control. Alright. All right. Love you all. Have a great evening, and I will see you in the morning. Some of you, at least. All right. Good night, you guys. Thank you. Bye.